Quest presents an unabridged recording of 34 Years in Hell by Jamie Morgan Kane, narrated by Jeff Harding. Prologue. Inside the dark cell, I was barely able to see, with only a little light coming in through a dirty window covered in mesh and bars. The cell was about 6 feet wide and 8 feet deep, with a stainless steel toilet and sink unit by the door. My bunk was attached to the wall and needed to be unfolded. As I started to lower it, the chains that attached it to the wall rattled loudly, and the guy in the other bunk stirred, but I wasn't sure if I'd woken him. After I laid out my sheet and blanket on the bunk, I looked out the window. All I could see was a tower along the perimeter fence, with a figure inside it holding a rifle. I laid my head down for the first night of many. At 5 a.m., the lights came on. My cellmate was dressed and at the door. He gave me a quick glance before the door opened, and then he bolted out. I followed him. I was only a moment or two behind him, yet he was nowhere to be seen. I queued up behind the other inmates and walked down the stairs and into the chow hall. I picked up a metal tray and was handed a metal fork and spoon. The meal was a surprise. A choice of scrambled fried or boiled eggs, 2 strips of bacon, a hamburger patty, a bowl of hot porridge or cold cereal, a cup of mixed fruit, toast, a jelly-filled donut, a cup of orange juice, and coffee. After leaving the serving line, I searched for somewhere to sit, but noticed people were segregating themselves by race, not something I'd ever done before. Finally, one of the guys from my transfer bus called me over to a table, and I joined him. At this time in the California correctional system, there were 4 groups: white, black, Hispanic, or other. The others included Native Americans, Pacific Islanders, Asians, those from the then Middle or Near East, and those of mixed blood. The fact I'd never liked being called white and had the words Manx Bread tattooed on my arms caused confusion during my intake, so I'd initially been listed as other. Eating my meal, I thought at least I wouldn't starve in prison. There had been many times in the county jail when the meals were a bit small. Most of the guys around me were mainly talking about how much time they were doing, a question I was told by older guys in jail never to ask. There was a weird calm in the room, not at all what I was expecting. After breakfast, we returned to our cells. My cellmate wasn't there. Finally, at around 8 a.m.,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?